These guards are so lightweight, you forget they're even there, but they still give solid protection. It's like full freedom to play a game without that clunky feeling. I used to wear bulky guards that slip down every game. These stay in place the whole time.
These shin pads are stretchy, durable, definitely not be ripping anytime soon.
Switch to goat sleeves now. They don't slip, they don't slide, nice and snug, nice and tight.
It's crazy how light these things are. I've worn a lot of old school pads in my time, and these are featherweight and super comfortable.
Legend begins where heroes end. Why are you still wearing those old clunky shin pads when you could be wearing these?
I used to struggle with shin guards sliding all game. These are a game changer. Put them on, you don't even notice them. They're comfortable, keep you going until finish.
It shows how fast you move on the pitch because it's stuck to the shin bone and does not slip and slide all around your shin.
No distractions, no readjusting, just focus on the match. What I like about these is you can wear them all day. Training, recovery, travel, they never lose shape. The material's soft and supportive. It's the perfect... These guards are so lightweight, you forget they're even there. These guards are so lightweight, you forget they're even there, but they still give solid protection. It's like full freedom to play a game without that clunky feeling. Training, recovery, travel, they never lose shape.
Happy Saturday, everyone. I hope you're all really well. We've got an amazing 1 hour ahead of us. I want you to drop your questions into YouTube for me. If you're not a subscriber, as ever, you need to subscribe, and you're then able to drop in your questions to us. We've got some exciting news and exciting updates today as well to tell you and share with you. We've literally, in the last 5 minutes, just got some news. So I'm going to share it with you all on the call today. So again, guys, please drop in your questions. I'm just going to double check as well that we've got our live is on and we're working fine. We've got no issues because we did have a slight communication issue the other day. But yeah, it looks like we're all completely live on there. So fantastic. Good stuff. So, as ever, guys, I did drop a post in school earlier this morning asking for questions. So we'll try and attack some of them if there's some in there. We will attack the questions in YouTube as well. I've seen that we've got one in already. Could we have some overall tips for wingers? So I'll cover that one 100% today. And Shooty's got a match today, won't be able to stay for the whole meeting. Don't stress, Shooty. I still haven't posted Thursday's call yet. I'm going to do that today, and I'll actually post in today's call for you. So by the time you're back from your match, you'll have it to watch back as well. So big thank you for joining us. So we are going to share with you guys some exciting news. It's always good to start off with really positives. And I'm just going to turn this on here. If you just bear with me for 2 seconds. Okay, now everyone should be seeing my school screen. So first thing, some of you may or may not noticed, but we've now currently renamed last week our group to the Soccer Pathway Pro. So that group is for players who are on the full-time Triple P and for all of you guys who are out there. Now, if you've got any friends, family members, anyone who's considering joining, but they think it's too much of a big step to come and join us, maybe they think it's too, sometimes financially the cost, they're not sure if they're going to get value. So what we've set up now is, we've now got the Soccer Pathway open, okay? So it looks very similar to what you're seeing on my previous screen, but you'll notice when you go into the classroom, something's a little bit different. There's a couple of things missing. Also, you'll notice the community is only small as we're growing, and currently at the moment on this Soccer Pathway open, We've only got about 15 members in there. Now, the idea is, and this is what we've got to do, because our pro version, which is all our full-time players, which is this one, is getting so popular and so busy, we've got to screen the players that come in. So if you've got any friends or family members who are considering joining this, but one of the big issues that they've said in the past is they don't want to commit money, they want to have a look first, we've actually flipped the switch on that. So yeah, we have opened it up so it's completely free to join. Okay, and this is the link which we're going to share in our community later on today. I'll share it for everyone to share. But basically, we need to look at players in here first before we allow them to come into our pro version, which is where all you guys currently are. Because one, we want the right players in the community. We want good, active community members. But also, we need to make sure that they're actually chasing their dreams. So you'll see, big shout out, we've had a guy called Jason who's posted in some of his goals for playing. And he's put in his 1 year goal, his 5 year goal, where he's based, and he sent me a highlights video. This is what we're going to start to do moving forward. So if you've got any friends or family members, again, who want to get looked at by me, it doesn't cost anything to join into this side of the pathway. It's completely free for this community, but it's got very limited stuff in the classroom. And it only gives them an education and an overview. They don't get things like match analysis and GPS trackers, but it gives them the information about the power of the program. The only one thing that it does give them is obviously access to the book, but also it gives them access to the community in here, and they can then post their videos in for me to consider them. So if you've got any friends or family members who are considering coming in and they want to have a look at joining the community, what you can do is you can give this link to them, and I am going to share it to everyone back in our pro community a little bit later on. So that's the first bit of exciting news, that now you can pass this across to your teammates. They can come in, they can submit a video to me. I can have a little look at the highlights video and consider them, whether we think we can bring them in to that community or not. Now, second bit of good news, and I think this is even bigger. When we hop back in here, so we've been speaking to you guys about moving up in the rankings under school, and I think for those that have been on the calls the past couple of weeks, we've been sitting at 1100th in the rankings, then we went to 961. Prior to Christmas we went to like 36. We are super pleased to share with you, as of this morning, we are now inside the top 6. So we are number 6 on the platform, guys. This is like so exciting to be in 6th position. And this is all thanks to you guys as well. So every time you post in the community, every time you like, every time you comment, it's helping us push up the rankings, guys. We want to be the number 1 in sports. That's our first goal. So currently in the sports category, we are 6th and we want to be number 1. That's our big goal, and I'm going to help us get there, and you're going to help us get there as well. Once we get inside the top 5, guys, we're only 1 position away. We're going to start to get a lot of traffic into our communities, which is going to generate more revenue, which means it's going to create more opportunities for you, okay? Then the next big one, guys, is originally, I think out of 181,000 communities, when we first launched, we were in 181,000th place. I'm super excited to tell you this morning, we've gone from being, just prior to Christmas, we were in the top 500. In the overall rankings, and it might take me a second just to find it, but if we go overall, I'll just see if I can find us, but I believe we've gone inside the top 150. So I'll see if I can pull this up. So this is across all of the subcategories. And there we are, 145th. So out of 181,000 communities, we're 145th overall. And in the sports, which is what really matters to us, we are 6th overall, okay? So guys, we are getting there. So that's a big thank you to everything that you guys have been doing by commenting, liking. And the next big thing you can do to help us, guys, as I've just showcased to you, if we go to the Pathway Open, and what I'm going to do is, whilst we're on the call, I'm going to copy it and I am going to drop into our pro version, and I'm going to put the first post of the day in here. Invite all your football and soccer friends for free. So I've dropped that in there for everyone to see. So now you can get your friends, your football, your soccer friends, they can join us completely for free of charge in our other community. So we've got 2 communities now. This one that you're currently on, the Soccer Pathway Pro, that's our locked out community. No longer can anyone join this for free. No longer can anyone join it even on a trial. You've got to be accepted into this community. The reason why we've took this decision is because the 263 members in here, you deserve to be locked in because you've proven yourselves over the past couple of months to be submitting your work, logging your daily planners. But what we want to do is we want to vet players before we allow them in. So we've put this free community together where they can come in and get some free information, and then they can submit their highlight reels. They can submit the information about themselves, and they can ask me questions about how they can be considered to join us. We want to keep this off as a complete closed community now. Also, it's a safety thing as well, because I'm conscious that we've got a lot of players in here who are under 18, and we want to make sure that you guys and mums and dads feel completely safe and secure, which is all in here with us. So we've took the decision that we're going to lock everyone out. We've set up a new free community, and that gives people levels. So now they've got to go into level 1, which is this free community. And then level 2, if they're successful in proving themselves in level 1, they can come and join all of us in the pro version. So again, if you've got friends and family, guys, who are interested and they want to submit their videos to be looked at by a player agent and by a coach like me, then all you need to do is share this link to them, and when they click on this link, it will allow them to join completely free of charge. So, guys, this is where I need your help. Please share the above link today to 5 friends minimum, okay? By SMS, social media, or any other methods. And all you've got to do is tell your friends to submit a highlight video once inside. So guys, this is really, really simple, okay? All you've got to do is share that link to your friends. It's free for them to join, and we want them to submit a video, okay? So big thank you. Khaleesi's already in there commenting. Well done. Khaleesi's just got herself a point. Okay, so I'm now going to get to the questions part, and I will be back with you guys in probably about 60 seconds. I'm just going to put you to a quick ad, and we'll get started with our first question.
Don't get sweaty. Simple as that.
One of the things I noticed about my Goats grip socks is the grip runs across the whole panel, so there's no bunching or sliding in your boots.
These grip pads will help you not slip when you're going in for a tackle.
My old socks will get sweaty halfway through the game. Not with Ghost grips. They stay cool and dry from start to finish.
These guards are so lightweight, you forget they're even there. but they still give solid protection. It's like full freedom to play a game without that clunky feeling. I used to wear bulky guards that slip down every game. These stay in place the whole time.
These shin pads are stretchy, durable, definitely not be ripping anytime soon.
Switch the goat sleeves now. They don't slip, they don't slide. Nice and snug, nice and tight.
It's crazy how light these things are. I've worn a lot of old school pads in my time. In these, are featherweight and super comfortable.
Legend begins where heroes end.
Why are you still wearing those old clunky shin pads when you could be wearing these?
I used to struggle with shin guards sliding all game. These are a game changer. Put them on, you don't even notice them. They're comfortable, keep you going until finish.
It shows how fast you move on the pitch because it's stuck to the shin bone and does not slip and slide all around your shin.
No distractions, no readjusting, just focus on the match.
Everyone, welcome back. So I'm just going to hop back into our school platform and I'm just going to have a little look to see what questions we did get dropped in this morning. So big thank you for this. Here we go. Okay, so let's have a look. One in from Khaleesi. So what makes a centre midfielder truly control the game? Oh, that's a good question. I like that one. Is intelligence more important than technique for a centre midfielder? And could we have some overall tips for wingers? Okay, and I think we did see a similar one in YouTube as well. So I'll just connect up my screen just while I'm talking to you all. So I hope as well, guys, remember, one of the big things I'm not seeing is when you are in games of weekends or midweeks and you've got your games, what I'd love you to start doing is, guys, in the community, start putting your scores in. But I'm not that interested, like, if you've lost 3-1 or you've won 3-1, but it's important to see your game scores, but also just a little self-reflection once a week, but drop it in the community. So tell us who you played against, where you are in the table, or the ladder, as we call it in Australia. Tell us what position the opposition were in. Was it a tough game? Was it an easy game? Was there some really bad decisions? Was there any bad refereeing decisions or linesman decisions? And tell us what you're feeling. It's good to actually unload on your games. And we're looking again, remember, we're always uber focused on process over outcomes. So first question we're going to have a look at: what makes a centre midfielder truly control the game? So first thing I would say that really helps a central midfielder control the game is definitely the ability to see the whole of the pitch. Now I will drop into my screen quickly and I'll do some little diagrams on here because it's always good visually for you guys to see this. But my advice based on a midfielder for this would be as follows, and I'll just see if I can get this screen connected. There we go, so hopefully everyone's seeing my screen. So we're talking about a midfielder truly controlling the game. So first thing is, to truly control the game as a central midfielder, you need to have the ability to see all of who can see everything. Okay, just by looking straight in front. Central midfielders are sat in here. This is really tricky. But to be able to see all of the pitch, the first thing you need to do is making sure scanning is 100%. Now for everyone who's on the full-time programme on the Triple P, for all of our new members who've joined us, like Loch in Paris in France, I've recently done an amazing match analysis with Loch, and I don't think he'll mind me sharing, but the number one thing that we picked up on Loch's game was scanning. Now Loch's position is a striker, but it's even harder as a striker because you're further up the pitch. but we've got to make sure that scanning is on point. So if you want to truly control the game as a midfielder, scanning has got to be the number one area, okay? The next thing I would say that's got to be on point is communication. Now, we are going to cover communication next week in Tuesday's call. And when we talk about communication, we're not just talking about pass me the ball, I'm free, I'm open, man on. Okay, we're talking about visual communication, hand signals, okay? And one of the big things that we've done, and I'm going to cover it next week in more detail, was the study of communication. So one of the differences, people always say, Ray, but what's the difference to Australia or the USA where you've lived over the last 20 years compared to like Europe and the UK? Now, as you know, I go back to Europe and the UK 5, 6, 7 times a year. So I'm always keeping up with what's going on at the top levels. But as of like 15 to 20 years ago, we would do a communication session at the beginning of the season, and we would agree our words of use on the pitch. So I'll give you an example. Sometimes if you've got to say 5 or 6 things to warn a player that something's about to happen, at the moment's already gone, okay? So we agreed within our communication settings, and I'll put it down here just to show, but we had a communication meeting that we agreed with coaches and players that we had to try and get it down to one word. So if we were going to communicate, okay, it would be one word. So I'll give you an example. If I'm making a pass and I'm here, and we're shooting in this direction, I'll just get rid of these arrows from the keeper. But we're going in this direction. We're shooting up this way. And I'm here, okay? Now we'll imagine this player here is looking at me. It's holding midfielder. If I'm making a pass to this player with the ball, we agreed that there'd be a one-word communication, and it might be free. And I've actually just remembered the one word that we did use when I was at Leicester City a lot was open. Now, as I sent this pass to this player, if I said open, that player didn't need to scan, because that player knew I'm the set of eyes for this player. So it actually helped the player in a sense. They knew they could turn, not take a touch, and they had potentially in here 5 to 10 meters to attack into, okay? So, but we're going to cover communication at this level of detail on Tuesday. I'm going to do a masterclass on communication for you, and I'm going to walk you through. Now, this would be something that you guys could take into your club and to your coach. And the beauty about the school platform, guys, and this community, you can, I'm going to put this in a community post for you. You could copy and paste it into a Word document, into, you know, text on your phone, show it to your coach and go, look, this is what they're doing in the Premier League. And it's going to help us on the pitch. It's going to help us make our passes more complete. It's going to give us more possession. It's going to cause less errors. Your coach would be stupid not to employ it. Now, most coaches are smart. They'll then take it as their idea. Guys, let the coaches do that. But what I'm saying to the players is if you can get this across, it'd be a great way. So, truly controlling the game, midfielders. So, one, you need to see all of the pitch. How do we do it? We do it by scanning constantly, because if you're in this position, you need to be looking behind you. You need to be looking to the sides, in front, and to the sides here as well, okay? So scanning is the key one, and I've given you this one many times before, guys, but one of the best at it was Paul Scholes, and he used to play for Man United. I would put any highlights video on of Paul Scholes. It doesn't matter what video you watch of Paul Scholes, but what I want you to do is record how many times he scans over his shoulders in a game, or in that highlight 1 minute clip. You watch how many times he scans. Absolutely unbelievable, okay? Now, for me, to truly control the game, this is the final one, okay? So for the best midfielders who truly control a game, okay, once that midfielder's in position, I want him or her to play all balls forward and fast. They are the best midfielders on the planet. Another midfielder who was absolutely amazing at doing this was Mr. Steven Gerrard, who played for Liverpool, okay? And this was one of his biggest attributions. He would play all of the balls forward and fast as quick as he could. And what it does is, guys, it takes away time from the opposition. And if you take time away from the opposition, you are already in a winning position. So midfielders, to truly control the game, you need to see all the pitch. You need to be able to scan 100%. Communication, which we're going to go into more detail on Tuesday. But things like visual communication, verbal communication, and how you communicate before the game. This is a big one. Okay, as a central midfielder, you and the goalkeeper are probably the two pivotal players on the pitch. So before the game, tell the teammates or your teammates how you're going to communicate with them. Is it the one-word triggers? Are you going to do visual communication? Okay, so make sure you communicate before the game. This could be done at training. Okay, it's too late walking into a game thinking you're the best midfielder on the planet and you haven't even got a game plan. Okay, we all know the saying. Okay, fail to plan, prepare to fail. Okay, so you need to make sure you got a plan, and don't leave your coaches as an excuse as to why you haven't done some of this. If your coach is only a volunteer or a parent coach, we need to help those coaches out. And the best way you can help them out, you don't have it wrote down. Say, Coach Ray, remember when you covered that communication? Can you put it as a community post for me? What do you think I'm going to say? No, I'd love to do it. I love doing this stuff. I'll put it in as a community post for you in text with some graphics, and then you can take it to your coach, and then you can help your coach. So it's about working together. So as ever, Khaleesi, I love this question. Hopefully, guys, if you learned something from this, please drop it in the comments on YouTube. Tell me what was the best part. Tell me what was the part that you never really knew. Or maybe tell me, and I don't get offended by this, that you actually already knew all of this and you didn't think it was a good answer. Okay? So I'm going to be back in a few minutes, guys. We are going to go to a very quick short break, and then we're going to get to Xavier's question, and I'm looking forward to covering this one off for us. Bear with us, guys, and we'll be back in 60 seconds.
You don't get sweaty. Simple as that.
One of the things I noticed about my Goats grip socks is the grip runs across the whole panel, so there's no bunching or sliding in your boots.
These grip pads will help you not slip when you're going in for a tackle.
My old socks will get sweaty halfway through the game. Not with Ghost Grip. They stay cool and dry from start to finish.
These guards are so lightweight, you forget they're even there, but they still give solid protection. It's like full freedom to play a game without that clunky feeling. I used to wear bulky guards that slipped down every game. These stay in place the whole time.
These shin pads are stretchy, durable. Definitely not be ripping anytime soon.
Switch the goat sleeves now. They don't slip, they don't slide. Nice and snug, nice and tight.
It's crazy how light these things are. I've worn a lot of old school pads in my time. In these, are featherweight and super comfortable.
Legend begins where heroes end.
Why are you still wearing those old clunky shin pads when you could be wearing these?
I used to struggle with shin guards sliding all game. These are a game changer. Put them on, you don't even notice them. They're comfortable, keep you going until finish.
It shows how fast you move on the pitch because it's stuck to the shin bone and does not slip and slide all around your shin.
No distractions, no readjusting, just focus on the match. What I like about these...
Hi everyone, thank you for coming back. So, next one we're going to have a little look at is, if I can find it, apologies, is Xavier's question. Could we have some overall tips for wingers? So great question. We did cover a little bit about wide play the other day, but I'll go a little bit more what we call foundational base for wingers, and I'll give you some ideas. And one of the probably the big ones I'll give you and I'll cover off will be some of the things that we used to teach the players in the Premier League as well. So we'll have a little look at some of the foundations. So as a wide player, number one is position and understanding your position correctly. And I'll come back to this in a second. The second part about being an amazing wide player is your transition. So that's whether you're in BP or BPO, and I'll explain what they are in a moment. These are my 3 top tips for a wide player. The first thing is actually understanding your position. And it all depends again on this part. So we're not talking about transition necessarily, but I'll put this up here as well. But these are super important. So when we talk about BP and BPO, okay, this is a term that we use in England. Quite simple. When you're in ball possession, and this is the same ball possession but for our opponents. Okay, so that's what BP and BPO means. So for me, when your team's in the possession, okay, to be able to get in the right position, for me, you need to be as high and as wide as possible in these points here. Now, this is all relative to where the ball is, but I'm imagining that we've got a goal kick and we've got a defender, and the defender's got the ball there. If you're a wide player, you've got to be there or there. It's that simple, okay? You got to be on the halfway line because you want to stay onside. You want to be as high and as wide as possible. And the reason being, we just spoke about this before, about being truly the best midfielder. It all comes down to this one thing: the ability to see the whole of the pitch. Now, you don't want to be here, because if you're there, your ability to see all of the pitch, you've got to do what? You've got to scan constantly over all of your shoulders, forwards, backwards, and you're not high and wide, okay? So the ability to be able to see all of the pitch. So by being side on, you can see your goalkeeper and your defender here, but also you can see the opposition in this area here and what else is going on in the middle of the park here as well, okay? Now, one of the big things I would say as well as a reason why we want you high and wide, if this is a defender there and this defender sees you here, this defender has got to have come across to you there, okay, which leaves a gaping hole of space in here for you to attack in, but for your teammates to attack in. But if this particular defender doesn't go out of this space and this defender stays there, you've now created all of this space to get into. It kills me when I see wide players being told by coaches when in possession, I want you all tucked in nice and tight and compact. Get in close to the defenders so then you can sit on the shoulders and lose them. But wait there, we're in possession. Why the hell would we do that? We want to cause problems. Remember, our ability to win games is all won by how we can affect the opposition. That's how we win and lose games. Can we affect the opposition? By being here, our defenders loving this because you're touch tight and that defender thinks and knows they've got you because they've got 2 meter distance between you and them here. So worst case scenario, they can get back if needed. So can we affect the opposition? Now the next part of this one, the transition. So we'll imagine we're on this side and the transition talks about the opposition. I've got the ball. You've tucked in. You might have made a run all the way back. You got to here. Now your goalkeeper's got the ball. All of a sudden we're in transition. And the transition is we've gone from being in BPO, which is ball possession opponents here. All of a sudden now, we've now actually got the ball, so we're in BP. We're here in ball possession. Now, the best thing you can do, as soon as you're in this position from here and your keepers retain the ball, you need to get out here as fast as you can. Now you will notice I have arced the run. I've done that on purpose because if we arc the run, any defenders recovering on the opposition, they're either going to follow you this way, which creates this big pocket of space here. And if they don't follow you, which most defenders won't, defenders' instructions are, if this is the defender, to get back as quick as we can behind the ball, which buys you here time, okay, to then get set and then to get on the ball. So the transition from BPO to BP, it's all about speed. You need to recognise as a wide player, as soon as your team has won the ball, you don't want to get on the ball then. You want to get in position here before you want to get on the ball. And you want to affect the opposition in a negative way for them before we get on the ball. And this final piece all comes together by speed, change of speed, and change of direction. And it all starts from here. Okay? So Xavier, as ever, mate, that was a fantastic question. And hopefully, guys, you've made notes on this, you took a screenshot. Don't worry if you haven't. It's in the recording, which will get posted later on. But in a nutshell, boys and girls, players on the programme, they are the fundamental basics of being a wide player, and they're the top 3 things. So if you are a wide player, a fullback, an attacking wide player playing in the 7 or 11, focus on your position, transition, and then the change of speed and direction to make it happen. And you'll notice all of these things that I've spoken shit about. At no point here have I actually spoken about in a 1 versus 1. I haven't spoke shit about how many touches of the ball. I haven't spoke shit about how you dribble. I haven't spoke shit about the skills that you perform. And this, I'm sorry when I say this, but this is the rubbish that gets coached to players about being a wide player. But there's a problem about speaking about 1 versus 1 and about how many touches and about what dribbles you should do to beat the player and what skills you should do. Because this is the type of coaching, unfortunately, that goes on in Australia. It goes on in New Zealand, it goes on in the USA and Canada, and it just boils my blood because we're not actually talking about, to become one of the best wide players and one of the top tips, we need to think about first, what are the foundational basics? And guys, you'll all admit, you can't get in a 1 versus 1 if you're not in position, if you don't transition quick enough. How the hell are you going to get on the ball? So forget about this nonsense and focus on this, the foundational basics. A great question as ever. Guys, If you like that answer, you like that little teaching, please drop it in the YouTube. Tell me what was the best bit. Leave the best comments in there for me. I'm going to wipe that clean. We are going to go to a very, very quick 1 minute break, and then I will be back to look at our next question. So leave all that in the comments for me, guys, if you enjoyed it and if you like the information.
You don't bunch up, you don't get sweaty. Simple as that.
One of the things I noticed about my Goats grip socks is the grip runs across the whole panel, so there's no bunching or sliding in your boots.
These grip pads will help you not slip when you're going in for a tackle.
My old socks will get sweaty halfway through the game. Not with Ghost Grip, they stay cool and dry from start to finish.
These guards are so lightweight, you forget they're even there, but they still give solid protection. It's like full freedom to play a game without that clunky feeling. I used to wear bulky guards that slipped down every game. These stay in place the whole time.
These shin pads are stretchy, durable, definitely not be ripping anytime soon.
Switch the goat sleeves now. They don't slip, they don't slide. Nice and snug, nice and tight.
It's crazy how light these things are. I've worn a lot of old school pads in my time. In these, are featherweight and super comfortable.
Legend begins where heroes end.
Why are you still wearing those old clunky shin pads when you could be wearing these?
I used to struggle with shin guards sliding all game. These are a game changer. Put them on, you don't even notice them. They're comfortable, keep you going until finish.
It shows how fast you move on the pitch because it's stuck to the shin bone and does not slip and slide all around your shin.
No distractions, no readjusting, just focus on the match. What I like about these is you can wear them all day. Training, recovery, travel, they never lose shape. The material is soft and supportive. It's the perfect mix of comfort and performance. These guards are so lightweight, you forget they're even there. These guards are so lightweight, you forget they're even there, but they still give solid protection. It's like full freedom to play a game without that clunky feeling. Training, recovery, travel, they never lose shape.
Everyone, welcome back. So we've got our last little section of our hourly weekly call. It is Saturday here in Australia. It's Friday in the US, Europe, and also in the UK. So wherever you are in the world, I hope you're well. Elijah, good to see you online, my friends. I'm going to answer Elijah's question, and then I will have a quick look into YouTube. So could we have some top tips for not getting bodied off the ball when running? Now, actually, I'm not going to whiteboard this one because I'm going to reiterate, Elijah, some of the foundations that we just spoke about. So if you get your position right on the pitch, let me pull it back a level. The question I'm going to ask you, Elijah, okay? Do you want to be bodied off the ball and close to the opposing player? Or would you rather not be anywhere near the opposition and have a free run on goal or a free run towards goal? So if you're online at the moment and you're listening to this, reply to this comment within school, drop it in for me. But for me, I would rather not get into a battle with an opposing player. And how do we not get into a battle? It all comes back to the foundational basics of being a wide player. But those foundational basics work for any position really, except for being a goalkeeper. So I can see Elijah's typing at the moment, which is great. So the question I would ask to you is, why get into any of these? So the answer he's put is, I don't want to be nowhere near the defender. And that is correct, okay? So that's what we want. We don't want to be anywhere near them. And this all comes to our setup. Do we get in position early? Do we get into the transition as fast as we can? If we need to, are we scanning? If we're in a wide position and we're on the sideline, we don't need to scan because you should be able to have a nice open body and see it all. But also, think about what we've already covered in the call today. Who can help us, okay, in saving time and not wasting time on scanning? And it comes back to communication. And your teammates, when they play the ball, can shout to you, free or open, whatever the trigger word is you've agreed. It's a one-word, simple communication tool that you would use to give to your teammate to let them know that they've got 10 meters of space behind them and it's safe to do a no-touch turn, okay? So you've just got to make sure you set the boundaries. So for me, Elijah, it's like another way to look at it. I always knew when I was your age, the best way to defend would be when you don't have to tackle and slide in. Now, in the late 1980s and early 1990s, my family and friends used to laugh at me when I used to say that. And I used to say, but where there's a problem, there's always a solution. Now, look at the game now. Look at Virgil van Dijk for Liverpool, okay? On the 2 occasions he's won the Premier League with Liverpool, the first time, in that season during COVID, he didn't make one slide tackle the whole season. He learned the best way to defend was to not have to tackle. And it's exactly the same when you're running with the ball, okay? Or when your body's off the ball when you're running, okay? Is why give the opposition a chance to body you? Don't be anywhere in their space. Now, you might start off in their space, but the run that you set up might allow you to not have to get into that battle once you're trying to get onto the ball. So I'll just show you very quickly a quick example on here before we go to any other questions in YouTube. So let's imagine, let's say Elijah's shooting in this direction, and let's say he's playing in the 10. So we've got Elijah up here, okay, and we've got a defender that's touch tight there. We've got another defender that's touch tight there, okay. Well, imagine that Elijah's goalkeeper has come to the edge of the box and he's got the ball and he's going to try and get it into his central defender who's here, okay. What we're looking for is little smart runs in the direction of your goal is going to pull these defenders with you, Elijah. And I can tell, and I know this, Elijah, because I've seen your game, I've seen some of your videos. You're a fast player. By making this run in here towards your own half, once these defenders follow you in, you, my friend, are going to go wide and away because you've got pace to burn. And that's how you affect opposition, and that's how you don't have to get in to be embodied off the ball when you're running. It's all about making these little subtle runs towards your own area in this direction is going to draw in the defenders. Now, some of you might go, yeah, but what happens if Elijah is here and the defenders are there and Elijah makes this run in here, okay, to try and spin off the defenders? What happens if this defender stays there and stays there? Well, the answer's quite simple. Elijah's now here. He's now created himself a channel of about 10 meters to attack. And when he attacks in that zone to get in it, he doesn't have to get bodied off the ball because the defenders have decided to stay there. And I know what will happen next as Elijah runs with the ball and drives. These defenders will retreat, which is also a win for Elijah as well. So great question as ever, my friend Elijah. I love it. Hopefully that answered your question and give you a little bit more advice and help with that one. We are going to just drop back quickly back into my live screen here. And we're just going to have a little look just to see what comments and questions we've got in. So big thank you to everyone, guys, for leaving all the nice comments. So we've covered the top tips of the wingers. Shooty, sorry, I've only just seen that you've dropped in that message. Do you have any top tips for the match against Bullying? My top tip, guys, whether you're watching this back, Shooty, on a recording, or you're still on with us, my top tip is follow your objective. So whatever objective you're currently on, focus on that one objective. So if it's scanning, creating space, world-class pass, distribution, whatever your objective is that you're following, just follow that one objective in your match. Don't get caught up in the whole game. Don't get caught up in the bad refereeing decisions, the bad linesman decisions, the opposition made some terrible tackles. Focus on one thing. Remember, the art of distraction is key in the game of football and soccer, and that's what a lot of players and opposing coaches are trying to do. They're trying to distract you. You stay focused, okay? Like a Jedi warrior, just stay focused on your one objective and keep drawing back. And remember, if you keep forgetting to focus on your objective, I've showed you this before, put a bit of tape on your wrist. The Premier League players do it, and I've told you this tip before. You'll notice at the end of Premier League games, you'll see players ripping tape off the wrists, and you're like, but wait there, they're not goalkeepers. What have they got tape on the wrist for? Because players put tape on the wrist, and they'll put the letter S. S could be for scanning, okay? The letter C could be creating a movement and making space, okay? The letter W could be world-class pass, okay? So give yourself a reminder. Now, the fact that that tape's there, it's done this way as a bit of a distraction, because when the ball goes out of play for a throw-in or a free kick, you're going to feel, oh, what's this on my wrist? And you'll go, S for scanning. I've got to remember to focus on my objective, okay? So that would be my top tip for you, Shooty. Always focus just on your one objective, and everything else will look after itself, okay? So I've covered that one from Elijah. Who won the 7-day challenge over Christmas from Khaleesi? So I'm going to announce that one tomorrow after the podcast Sunday, and I'm going to make a bit of a special video announcement. So thank you for that reminder. It is going to be getting posted on there. Now, I don't seem to have any more questions in there. I'm just going to double check back through onto the school platform and just to see if there's any more questions. Elijah dropped in another one. Playing as a striker, I'm always tightly marked. Getting space is difficult. So Elijah, I've already answered this one for you. But if we think about this diagram where I spoke to you about making runs towards your own area or your own half of the pitch is a great way. So I'll just show you it again. So I'll show everyone the question that Elijah dropped in. So playing as a striker, I'm always tightly marked. Getting space is difficult. Elijah, if you say it's always difficult, then it will be difficult. What you've got to learn to do is, if you're here as the striker and you've got defenders are here, and they're touch tight, start making movements towards your own goal. Scan as you're making this run this way. Scan over this side to check, is this defender coming with you? If this defender's not coming with you, this is a big thing, because if they come with you, great. If this defender moves in here, okay, you've then created that channel of space to come in. If the defender does not follow you and the defender stays in here and you're down here now, Elijah, this is a great thing again, because we've just worked out that we've now just created ourselves 10 meters of space to get into, okay? So we sort of already answered that one in the last one, but hopefully that helps you with that final one as well, Elijah. So guys, I think that's us. I don't think we've got any more questions in the chat. A big thank you for everyone who joined us. As ever, guys, I am going to post this into the community in a moment. Apologies, you said you couldn't see my drawing, because I've just realised I will put my screen control on for you. Hopefully you can see it now. So I've just showed you again just in here, and I'll just flick it up for you again quickly, Elijah. So remember, you're making your runs this way, and this is where you end up. If this defender stays there, then obviously that's a good thing for you. You've now got that 10 meter of space to attack and to get into. But if that defender does follow you in, Then obviously, like we covered before with all the other diagrams, if that defender does follow you in, and the defender starts there, but this defender follows you in here, it's going to enable you with your speed to get away into that space. Apologies, my friend. I thought I'd put that screen control over, but I obviously forgot. So guys, we are going to be back with you all tomorrow for our podcast Sunday. Is there any new Goats products coming? There is new Goats products coming. We've got probably 3 of our biggest ever Goats products ever, but they're not going to launch until maybe March, April this year. We're not going to rush these ones. We want these ones to be on point. And yeah, I know for a fact you're going to love all 3 of them. They're going to change football. They're going to change soccer around the world, these 3 new products. And we are super excited and pumped to bring them to you. So a big thank you, guys. If you're in the US, the UK or Europe, enjoy your Friday night. Stay safe. Put on a movie. Get a bit of popcorn out. And remember, it's important to relax as well and switch off from your football and your soccer. If you're in this side of the world and you're in Australia and New Zealand, guys, enjoy yourselves and have a good Saturday. And I look forward to seeing you all on the podcast Sunday tomorrow. And I'll see you all on our next live call on Tuesday. Have a safe weekend, everyone. I love you all. Stay safe.
You don't bunch up, you don't get sweaty. Simple as that.
One of the things I noticed about my Goats grip socks is the grip runs across the whole panel, so there's no bunching or sliding in your boots.
These grip pads will help you not slip when you're going in for a tackle.
We all